What is up, FEG fam? Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I wanted to try and answer to the best of my abilities a question that I've been getting a whole lot, and I do mean a whole lot, and that is whether or not you should go for Ganyu or for Yaimiko. Now, I've been hesitant on making this video for one major reason, and that reason is that Yaimiko is still in beta and not officially in the game. For me, that's a huge thing when trying to compare two characters and deciding which one to go for. Now, because I've been getting this question so much, I decided to try and answer it because on this channel, I want to give you the best advice and give you the best recommendation if you're asking about that from me, right? And if you're having a hard time trying to decide what to do with your Primo Gems and Intertwined Fates, I want to do my best to help you and point you in the right direction, but keep this in mind that this is just my opinion and that Yaimiko is still in beta. Those are the big disclaimers that you have to take away from this. After you understand that and you hear what I have to say, you can then go ahead and make the most informed decision for yourself and your account. And like I mentioned, this is just my own subjective opinion and you do with it as you will. So with that being said, let's go ahead and attempt to answer who you should go for, Ganyu or Yayamiko. There are so many different variables when it comes to this, and once again, Yayamiko is still in beta, so it's hard to really recommend going for Yayamiko, and the reason being is because with her still in beta, things are still subject to change, right? She's been getting constantly updated as I've been providing you that information on the channel, and with those constant updates and her not being officially in the game, we're not able to really determine her full potential and what she's really going to be capable of. There are some characters that when they're in beta and you're reading what they can do on paper, it could be a lot different than when you actually use them in practice and you see what they're fully capable of and what they're able to do. The thing about it is with Ganyu, we've been able to do that because she's been out for quite some time. With Yae Miko, with her still in beta, not officially in the game, we haven't had the opportunity to do that and test her in different team comps and test her elemental skill and elemental burst, test her charge attack, see how detrimental the cooldown is on the elemental burst and if that gets updated or not, try different artifacts. There's just a whole lot that goes into it, but what we know and what we have to go off of is what I'm going to utilize to be able to do this video. So let's talk about Ganyu first, and I know a lot of you already know what Ganyu's capable of and what she's all about, but just in case you're new to the game of Genshin Impact or you're just not aware, Ganyu is arguably one of the best characters in the game, and if you do decide to go for Ganyu, you're not making a mistake. I don't think so by any means, at least in my opinion. And the reason being is because Ganyu just does it all, right? She's one of those characters that is like an all-arounder. She's so well balanced in terms of her versatility in being a support and a damage dealer, being able to fit on just about any team comp that you want to place her on, and she just has a lot of utility within her kit that just makes her a fantastic character. I actually did a video on the channel talking about why Ganyu. If you want more in-depth information on this character, go ahead and check out that video. I'll probably leave it at the end of this video as well if you want to go ahead and click on it. But anyways, Ganyu I have highly invested in. I've been using her since she launched in the game, so I have a very good understanding of what she's capable of. And just to give you a quick rundown, her double charge shot is unprecedented as it does tremendous amount of damage. Her build is very easy in terms of being able to build her because she can utilize a lot of different bows. She does have an applicable one in the Amos bow, but she can use multiple different bows, whether it be the Skyward Harp, the Prototype Crescent, whatever you want to try and use on her, she can probably use it to good effect, right? Her artifacts, very simple and straightforward. Whether you want to go with Blizzard Strayer or 4-piece Wanderer's Troop, you can't go wrong either way, and it works out really well. In terms of the type of stats that you want to go when it comes to the build, you can go with an attack percent Sands, Cryo Goblet, and then crit damage or crit rate on the circlet, whichever you need more of. Constellations are not necessary on Ganyu because she performs beautifully at C0, so that might be an added benefit for my new players or free-to-play players or light spenders. And her talents, you could just build it out evenly because she can utilize all of them to the fullest effect. Her elemental skill is one of my most favorite in the game because of it being a taunt When you lay it down, it actually dashes Ganyu back, which is really nice because then you can reposition to be able to do the double charge shot damage that you want to do. And it also does some pretty decent damage when it explodes on its own as well. So I love the elemental skill, and I think it's a little bit underrated by most. When we take a look at the elemental burst, absolutely fantastic. The utility on this elemental burst and the AoE is just ridiculous. It does consistent cryo, so you can proc those reactions very nicely. And it's just good all around, a great elemental burst. And then her passives just play into how you're going to be using Ganyu and just allowing her to be able to do some more damage, right? So Ganyu is just a fantastic character, easy to build, easy to use. The only thing that most people really complain about when it comes to Ganyu is that she's kind of boring because you're just double charge shotting all day, so some people may not like that playstyle, and that she's a bit squishy. But other than that, she fills every single role that you would need, whether you need a sub DPS, main DPS, you need a support. She really just covers everything for you. And the thing about it, and this is what we're going to get into here when we talk about Yaimiko, is that since Ganyu has been out for quite some time, when you go to actually level her up, you are able to do that right off the bat. And this might be a huge benefit and something to really consider for new players, because Ganyu will be a character that you can have online from day one. As soon as you pull her, you can have her ready to go because her mats are all readily available right now, and that's one of the best benefits. Whereas when we talk about Yaimiko, the downside, especially if you're a new player, is that you're not going to be able to have her online right away, and that may be one of the defining factors of who you choose. But let's talk about Yaimiko at this time. From what we know on paper, she just appears to be an extremely good damage dealer. When we're taking a look at her kit and what she's doing, she looks like she's just going to be able to do some really good damage. Now, the elemental skill, from what I can see and the gameplay that I've saw, looks like it's going to have some pretty good utility on its own as well. And I think it's going to be a lot better than what most people think. I've said this before, because the elemental skill, when you use it in conjunction with your other allies on the team and you're popping their elemental skills and elemental bursts, I think all of the reactions that you're going to be getting is going to be massive, and I think it's going to be a lot better than what most people think. Yaimiko's elemental burst is going to hit extremely hard, we do know that, but it is a high energy cost, looking to be the highest in the game, and the cooldown is not looking to be too great as well because it is a high cooldown. So when you're talking about Yaimiko's elemental burst, you have to take those things into consideration and think about having a battery type character that can provide energy back for Yaimiko, like a Raiden Shogun, like Fischl, and others that can give the energy back. So there might be some team comps to where you have to center it around Yaimiko slightly. I don't think it's going to be as serious as like a Xiao, for example, but you may still have to do that if you're wanting Yaimiko to be the best that she can be. When it comes to the weapons, I think Yaimiko is going to have a lot of different options available, which is really nice. So you're not going to really be too pressed on finding a weapon for her because she's going to be able to utilize a lot of different ones. And then for artifacts, we're looking at maybe a brand new artifact coming out in version 2.6, and that could be tailor-made for Yaimiko, so you would have to wait for that. But for the time being, you might be able to utilize multiple different artifacts on her and try different builds. So it looks like you have some playing around to do when it comes to the build and artifacts. And I've had videos on builds for Yaimiko, and I'll probably have that at the end of this video as well as a video that you can click on. When it comes to her constellations, I don't think they're going to be needed. Her constellations are looking pretty decent, but I don't think they're going to be needed. I think she's going to do really well at C0 as well, and I don't think they're going to be necessary. Talent-wise, we talked about the elemental skill and the elemental burst. Her passives really just play into her being able to do more damage, and that's roughly about it. The thing about Yaimiko is that from what we can see on paper, and if nothing changes when she officially releases, is that she's not really going to have any supporting capabilities per se outside of the reactions that she's going to be able to proc with her elemental skill and elemental burst. But outside of that, no real supporting capabilities in terms of being able to, raise an ally's crit rate or crit damage or provide energy back or anything like that per se. The only real supporting capabilities that she has is within one of her constellations, which right now is at C4. And that's kind of a bummer. But other than that, she's just looking to be a main DPS slash sub or burst DPS from what we can see. Her charge attack is going to be really nice and going to be one that I think you're going to utilize, and then the normal attacks are looking to be pretty decent at the moment. The thing about it is when you're trying to choose between Ganyu and Yaimiko, it really just comes down to, first and foremost, and this goes for every time we compare characters, first and foremost, who do you like more, right? If you don't like Ganyu, but you really like Yaimiko, then that's who you should go for, or vice versa. That is priority number one. And then what type of gameplay style are you going to like using? Because if you don't enjoy using the character in their gameplay style, you're not actually going to be using said character in the game. And what I mean by that is if you don't like double charge shotting and sitting back all day, you're probably not going to be using Ganyu that much because you don't enjoy doing that. Same with Yaimiko. If you're not a fan of that switch in, switch out playstyle, and you're not too much of a fan of, you know, using her for certain situations, then you may not like using Yaimiko. And then the other thing to consider is, what do you need more of on your account? Are you lacking in the cryo department and you need more cryo characters? Or are you lacking the electro department and need more electro characters? Do you need more utility and supporting characters? Then Ganyu might be the way to go. Or if you're looking for a really good damage dealer to, you know, kind of fill out your team comps that you've been running, then Yaimiko might be it for you as well. But the thing is, Ganyu can fill that role also. So it's one of those things to take into consideration. If you're asking me, in my opinion, if you're a new player to the game and you don't know who to decide, I just think the versatility, once again, the utility, and the all-around balance of Ganyu in terms of what she's going to be able to provide your team, your account, is just too valuable, right? I think it's just too valuable, and I think she offers more than Yaimiko does. But once again, this is just looking at what Yaimiko is doing on paper. Once we start using her in team comps and we start rotations and builds and seeing, you know, what she's really capable of, that could change, you know, when she officially releases in the game and I get to try her out. So that's why I was hesitant about making this video. But if you're asking me right now what to do, I would say Ganyu. That's just my opinion. But I do want to get your guys' opinion down in the comments below. I want to know what you would do, or what you're going to do, or what you would recommend new players or free-to-play players or light spenders to do. Let me know all of that in the comments down below. I feel as if I did tackle and hit everything when it comes to who to decide, and I hope I didn't miss anything. If I did, once again, let me know in the comments down below. And if you did enjoy this video, if it helped out any, or if it helped you go in the right direction or make a decision, then do me a huge favor, hit that like button for me. It helps out way more than you know, more now than ever. So thank you guys so much for hitting that like button for me. I do truly appreciate it. And if you're new to the channel, you enjoy what you see here, you enjoy the content, go ahead and consider subscribing. Join the FPG family. We would love to have you stick around. But with that being said, guys, I think I'm good here. I'm going to get on out of here. I do appreciate you and love you all. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond it literally, and I do mean literally everything that you do. My name is Cody. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.